Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a like up. The Duggar family has weathered many storms over the years, but nothing could have prepared them for this. What was meant to be the most joyful time in Janet Duggarhart's life has taken a heartbreaking turn, one that left the family in tears and brought her mother, Michelle Duggar, to her knees in prayer. Chapter 1: A Miracle Baby. When Jana Duggar, the oldest daughter of the famed 19 kids and counting family, announced her first pregnancy at 34, it felt like a miracle after years of speculation, public scrutiny, and quiet grace. She finally revealed she was expecting a baby girl, Leanna Grace Hart, with her husband Elias Hart. Jana's pregnancy had been smooth, there were no complications, and every ultrasound showed a thriving, growing baby. Her Instagram updates were calm and filled with gentle joy. Pink Onesies nursery decor, handwritten Bible verses pinned beside the crib. Fans rejoiced. The Duggar siblings rallied around her, and Michelle, the matriarch, who had delivered 19 children, was glowing with pride. But everything changed one stormy night in October, just 2 weeks after little Leanna was born. Chapter 2: Something wasn't right. Jana had always been intuitive, the kind of woman who could sense when something was off. That night, while Elias rocked their daughter to sleep, Jana noticed Leanna's color looked different. A grayish hue replaced the rosy pink in her cheeks. Her breathing was shallow, and worst of all, her cry was weak. "I knew something was wrong," Jana would later whisper in an emotional vlog update. "Call it mother's instinct or God's voice. I just knew." They rushed Leanna to the nearest children's hospital in Fayetteville. Doctors immediately took her to the NICU. Machines beeped. Nurses moved with urgency. A doctor calmly explained that Leanna was experiencing a life-threatening respiratory issue. Her oxygen levels were dangerously low. Jana, frozen in the hallway with Elias, could barely process what she was hearing. One moment, we were holding our baby in a warm home, and the next, she was in a plastic box with wires taped to her chest. Chapter 3: Michelle arrives in tears. When Michelle Duggar received the call she was visiting Jessa in Springdale, according to family sources, she didn't hesitate for a second. She dropped everything and drove straight to the hospital. She was in tears when she arrived, said a nurse on duty. You could see in her eyes that wasn't just a grandmother arriving, that was a mother watching her daughter fall apart. Michelle's faith has been her anchor through countless challenges, miscarriages, scandals, heartbreaks. But this time it was different. The sight of Jana, crumpled on a hospital bench, clutching her baby's blanket and praying out loud, was almost too much to bear. She got down on her knees. A family friend shared right there in the waiting room. She sobbed into her hands and whispered, "Please Lord, not my grandbaby, not Jana's baby." Chapter 4: Longest night of their lives. Leanna was placed on a ventilator. The doctors worked tirelessly. Tests showed a rare pulmonary condition, likely triggered by an undetected infection. The prognosis uncertain. For 48 hours, the family barely slept. Jana didn't leave the hospital. Michelle held her hand when she broke down. Elias prayed quietly in the corner, tears silently falling. Jill and Jinger, Facita and Joy Anna came and sat beside her sister for hours. Jim Bob arrived and quietly hugged Jana. They didn't need to talk, words had run out. "I've never prayed harder in my life," Jana later confessed in her blog, "not just for Leanna, but for the strength to survive if I lost her." Chapter 5: The Duggar family rallies. Back at the Duggar family home in Tantown, a prayer chain was started. The younger siblings lit candles. Josh and Anna, despite tensions with the family, sent flowers. Amy Duggar King, known for speaking out against the family's strict ways, posted a heartfelt message. "Family is complicated, but Jana is one of the most kind, pure-hearted people I've ever known. Please pray for her baby." Miracles happen. Fans flooded social media with prayer support and stories of their own NICU struggles. Hashtag Pray for Leanna trended on X, formerly Twitter. The world, once critical and judgmental of the Duggars, now stood in unified empathy for a mother and her child. Chapter 6: A Flicker of Hope. On the third night, there was finally a small glimmer of hope. Leanna's oxygen levels began to stabilize. Her body responded to antibiotics. The ventilator support was gradually reduced. A nurse gently told Jana, "She's fighting, she wants to be here." When Leanna finally opened her eyes and gripped her mother's finger, Jana broke into tears. It was like holding a piece of heaven. Michelle cried again, this time in relief. She later wrote in her journal, which she shared a portion of online God gives, and sometimes He takes, but tonight, He gave us hope in a tiny heartbeat. Hope in a breath, hope in a baby girl who has already changed our world. Chapter 7. The road to recovery. The next 2 weeks were a blur of feeding tubes, sleepless nights, whispered lullabies, and cautious optimism. Jana remained in the NICU, but her condition steadily improved. Jana shared gentle updates with fans, her tone always grateful, never performative. "Thank you for loving my daughter," she wrote. "Thank you for standing in the gap when we had no strength." Michelle stayed by her side nearly every day, proving once again that no matter how many children she has, her heart beats fiercely for each one. And now for her grandbaby too. Chapter 8. Going home. Finally, after 19 days, Jana was released from the hospital. The moment Jana carried her through the front door, wrapped in a yellow blanket, there wasn't a dry eye in the room. Elias wept as he placed her in the bassinet they once feared would remain empty. Michelle whispered, "Welcome home, baby girl." A small prayer service was held that evening. No cameras, no production crew. Just family warmth and a sense of holy relief. Epilogue. A love strengthened through fire. Jana is still fragile and her care continues with regular checkups. But her prognosis is good and her spirit, just like her mama's, is strong. Jana has become even more of a symbol of quiet resilience. The girl who waited years to become a mother has now faced the fear of losing that gift and emerged with a heart stronger, fuller, and more grounded than ever. Michelle, forever the matriarch, said it best during a recent devotion: "We spend so much time trying to protect our children from pain, but sometimes it's the pain that shapes them into who they were always meant to be." Jana's baby survived. Michelle Duggar broke down, but through the tears, a family was reminded of the miracle of life and the powerful bond between mother-daughter and the tiny life that brought them closer than ever.